Hey y'all, it's me, Laura Burns. Welcome back to my channel. If you're here for the first time, as always, here are your jazz hands. And today we're here for something that I promised at the beginning of the month. Wait, hold on. Let me back up. Hello, welcome to September, which is also PCOS Awareness Month. Yay! I started the month off with a live where I talked about PCOS, what it is, how it affects me, and also how to be an ally to friends and family who are living with PCOS. And that was really cool, and I talked about resources during that live that have been helpful for me. And let me just, from the beginning, as always, a disclaimer that anything that I talk about is something that has been helpful for me. I cannot say if it will be helpful for you. I can only tell you what my experience has been. Also, let me just say that this is not sponsored. This is not an ad. I will put a link in the description box to Ovacetal, which I'm here to talk about today, but it's not an affiliate link. I don't make any money. I have no skin in the game. I'm just telling you something that's been really impactful, helpful for me, and that I continue to take. So let's jump in. I'm here to talk about, Ovacetal. So here is an up close of the packaging. So I'm going to talk a lot about this. So let me just say that as well as this is not a sponsored review or an ad, I am not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not any of those things. I'm just a person with PCOS. I'm just a person with PCOS standing in front of a camera asking you to believe me. Oh my god, you guys. So I have these ears on today. I'm in a really good mood today. So in addition to September being PCOS Awareness Month, it's also Self-Care September, and every day of the month has a theme and or a topic, and I post about it on Instagram. And today's topic is fun, so I'm feeling fun today, and I'm embracing all the fun things that could happen in my day. And that started with wanting to wear these ears, and so I put them on, and then I had to match. So that's what's happening here. But I am very serious about talking about this, so let's get into it. This is a product called Ovacetal. It is made by a company called Theralogics. All of this is going to be in the description box. It is a supplement made of 2 different kinds of inositols. There are 9 kinds of inositols. These are like the 2 most effective for helping with PCOS. They are D-chiro-inositol and myo-inositol. Okay, let me just say, this is not the only supplement that has inositols in it. This is the one that my dietitian recommends, and that in all my reading seems like the best one because it has the 2 most effective ones in the correct ratio, 40:1. So that's the thing. And in my reading, I was learning about the fact that, so there's D-chiro and myo, and if you have too much D-chiro, then instead of helping your ovulatory functions, it can actually hinder them. So there's a reason why the ratio is like it is. This is evidence-based, so they have done studies. This has been proved to be effective, but it is a supplement, right? So this is not an FDA, so like even on here, this statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. It's a supplement, right? So know that going in. This is not a medication. This is not probably going to be prescribed by your doctor. I certainly was not prescribed this by my doctor. I found out about this through Duffy Dillon, who is a body positive, weight neutral, non-diet dietitian who I talked a lot about in the live video at the beginning of the month, and who I think is the bee's knees. If you want to know more about her, I will put a link to her website in the description box. Oh, also a plug. I was recently interviewed by her on her podcast, so I will also put a link to that in the description box. And I just talk more about my personal journey with PCOS and my feelings about it, how I got diagnosed, etc. I don't know what is happening here. Okay. So let's talk about this. This is a new canister. I'm actually going to open it for you on camera so you can see what it looks like when you get it, what it looks like inside. So this has, they say this is 3 months worth of product. And you can get this in 2 different forms. I mean, it's always going to be the same powder, but you can buy a canister like this, and it has a scoop inside. And so 1 scoop is 1 dose, and you take 2 doses a day. So what I do is I have it with breakfast, and then I have it after dinner. And so in the morning, sometimes I'll stir it into my coffee, because it dissolves really nicely. And then after dinner, I take some other pills and medications, and I just mix it into water, and I use that to take all my pills. But you can mix this into anything you want. It doesn't really taste like anything. It's like slightly sweet, a little bit like, not like sugar, but it's not bitter, I guess is what I'm saying. So let's see, dye-free, gluten-free. I'm just gonna go over this canister with you. 100% pure inositols, no additives. Okay, so this is what the canister claims to do or support. And then I have some, I pulled up the website also, so I'll tell you some stuff there. I'm just saving you the Google, basically. Okay, promotes insulin sensitivity, promotes healthy ovarian function and egg quality, supports normal hormone levels, independently content certified by NSF International, 90-day supply, 40 to 1 inositol blend. Okay, about Ovacetal. Ovacetal is an inositol supplement formulated to promote menstrual regularity and normal ovarian function. It also supports normal hormone and lipid levels and promotes egg quality in women. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. Blah, blah, blah. Independently tested. Ovacetal contains an unflavored powder. 1 leveled scoop provides 2,000 milligrams of myo-inositol and 50 milligrams of D-chiro-inositol, which is the same 40 to 1 ratio as found naturally in the body. Directions: take 1 leveled scoop twice a day. Blah, blah, blah. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. Okay, so that's actually in the instructions. Mix into any liquid. Stir until powder is dissolved. Take with food. It says take with food. And let me tell you, I have like the world's most sensitive stomach, and I take this without food sometimes, and I'm fine. However, I do recommend taking with food just because they tell you to, and if they tell you to, there's probably a reason. Okay, so that's all the information. Oh, on the top it just said, the scoop is inside. Hooray. So let's open it up. I'll just give you a look. So this is a new canister. You can see it comes sealed for your protection. Thanks. Okay, I'm just gonna open it. And, oh, I hate when it doesn't peel the whole thing off in one go. There we go, 2 goes. So, I'm trying not to spill. It's just white powder. It's a very fine powder. I guess they do that so it'll dissolve really well, but that's all it is, just white powder. And usually you have to kind of dig for it a little bit. There's a little plastic scoop in here somewhere. I don't immediately see it, but it doesn't smell like anything. Yeah. So that's what it looks like. That's what the canister looks like. I buy this because I don't like to create all the waste. The other form, it comes in little packets. It looks like little sugar packets or something. And it's a 90-day supply. So 90 times twice a day, 180 packets. It's just, I don't want to make that trash. So I like this. And if I know that I'm not going to be home, I just scoop some into a little container or a little tiny plastic bag and take it with me. Okay, get rid of my trash here. So let's talk about inositol. Okay, I made some notes. So I talked about the 40 to 1 ratio. So it's supposed to help with ovulation. So if you're a person with PCOS, you may not have all these symptoms. You may have a combination. Many, I would say most, not an expert, don't want to say anything wrong. Most people with PCOS, I imagine, have issues with ovulation. With period regulation, which I think most people with PCOS have issues with. Basically what it does, in like super layman's terms, which is perfect for me because I am not scientifically inclined. It basically makes your insulin more effective. So if you're familiar with metformin, it does basically the same thing that metformin does, but just is a different material, right? So inositols are already found in the body. So you might be wondering, oh, well, I already take metformin. Should I take this, or should I be taking this instead? I would talk to your doctor, Avi, but let me just say that, like, a lot of doctors, like, have really no idea about PCOS. Unless they're a PCOS expert, they're an endocrinologist, they work with us all the time, like, they're just gonna tell you, like, oh, I don't know what that is, it's probably not effective. I choose to not, like, put 100% stock in what my doctor tells me. I think that she's very smart, she knows a lot of stuff, and that she's very helpful, but also I know that she doesn't do a lot of continuing education in PCOS because doctors don't, right? It's not what they do. They don't do a lot of continuing education in general. And so unless they're super passionate about it and they're like just like reading about it on their own, they're not getting new information. So my recommendation would be, if you're interested in it, to try it and see how you feel. If you feel better, if you see results, keep using it. If you don't use it. That's how I go into this stuff. But oh, if you're wondering about, should I do this or this or this or this or this, I also take metformin. There's, according to the research, according to my dietitian, according to things that I read, there's nothing wrong with taking both. In fact, Theralogics, the company who makes Ovacetal, says it's fine if you want to take both. And so that is what I do. And I do notice a difference when I don't, because I have run out before and not reordered it in time and felt the difference in my body when I'm just on metformin. So in addition to these things that they do with the ovulation help, the period regulation, the insulin help, D-chiroinositol has been shown to help with blood pressure and cholesterol, and also with your androgen levels, which is like testosterone. Okay, so I've pulled up on the Theralogics website the product details so I can tell you more stuff. This is the same stuff. So they also make other products. Like they make vitamins and I don't know, other stuff. I don't take anything else from them. Okay, what is inositol? Great question. I'm glad you asked. So I'm just going to read to you from the Theralogic website. Inositol is a nutrient found in fruits, beans, grains, and nuts, and is also made by the body. Studies have shown that it improves the way the body uses insulin and promotes normal hormone levels, which in turn promotes regular menstrual cycles and ovarian function. It also supports normal lipid levels and promotes egg quality in certain women trying to conceive. I can't speak for that because I don't even know what my egg quality is, so I can't talk about that. It's different because of the ratio. Who's likely to benefit? People trying to promote normal hormone and lipid levels, regulate their menstrual cycles. Yes, you can take it with other dietary supplements. How long will it take it to work? It generally takes at least 3 months of daily supplementation to see improvement in your test results and or the return of regular menstrual cycles. That may be true, but to me, I can feel the difference in my body, and I'll talk about exactly how much sooner than that. Like within a couple weeks, I feel a difference. You can take it during pregnancy. You can take it while you're breastfeeding. There are no expected side effects. Can it help with weight loss? According to research, inositol may help with weight loss. Studies have shown that, I'm going to say people, it says women all over the place, but I talk about people with PCOS because it's not just women. Studies have shown that people taking inositol have significant weight loss compared to people taking a placebo. Can you take it with prescription medications? Yes. Okay. So So those were more details. So let me just talk about what it feels like in my body when I take Ovacetal, because I think that's really the most important thing, because that's what I can really speak to. So when I consistently take Ovacetal, the difference that I feel in my body from regular or just taking metformin is the big one is my cravings. So when you have PCOS, a lot of times, many people with PCOS deal with very strong cravings for sugar or carbohydrates in general. So I don't necessarily crave sugar, except around the time of my period when I like, oh my God, just want to live in a vat of chocolate. But the rest of the time I crave pasta and bread. Oh my God, like right now I'm really hungry because I haven't eaten yet today. I'm like, that's what I want to eat. But that's not a craving, I'm just hungry. But it's like a really intense craving. It's not just like, oh, I love pasta. It's like, I need to eat some of that now or I'm going to kill you. So when I take Ovacetal, I have noticed, and I track, so I have a little tracker where I track cravings and symptoms, and I have noticed and seen over time, over the past year that I've been using Ovacetal, that my cravings go down significantly when I'm consistently taking Ovacetal. And to me, that is huge because I already have an eating disorder. And so then when you add cravings into it, which makes me just want to like eat and eat and eat pasta and bread and not really potatoes, rice. Oh my God, rice. Oh my gosh. It's such a quality of life lifter to not be craving, like desperately craving those things all the time. Because what comes along with that is I either deny myself and then like keep obsessing about the craving, or I do it, I eat the stuff and I eat too much of it, and then I have like a, you know, a back and forth, like feeling guilty about what I ate and blah, blah, blah. And I'm somebody that like works on my relationship with food, and that's like the better way that it could be. So I can only imagine if you're somebody who hasn't spent a lot of time working on your relationship with food and really like shame spirals about eating and has a lot of issues, like how awful that could be. So that's the number one, is the craving. So even if it did nothing else for me, the fact that it reduces my cravings is like, oh my God, it's worth it. It's worth it. And then the other thing that I've noticed is mood stabilizing. And I think this has to do with the fact that when I take this, it's helping the insulin work better so that my blood sugar in general is more level and I'm not spiking so much. I used to have like really high ups and downs, or really high highs and really low lows, and it was just all over the place. And I would get very grumpy and be very not pleasant sometimes. And I didn't know why it was happening. And inside I would be like, what's going on? I feel crazy. Like I feel out of control. I feel crazy. I feel like my body has taken over and my mind is like, what is happening? I'm an asshole. Like basically. Since I started taking this, my mood regulation is so much better. Like I told my husband, I was like, have you noticed that I'm less crazy? He's like, yes. So those are the two big things for me. It's hard to say about the ovulation because I haven't been tracking that or testing it at this point, or up until this point, so I don't really know for sure. I do know that my periods were much more regular for a long, long time. I did get off of this, like all my meds got screwed up, and I went off of birth control. And then I got back on. I mean, it was like a whole thing. So the period thing, I think it works for periods, but I can't say like I 100% believe that it does. I think that it does, but you know, it's hard to tell. It's not like I'm running like a full scientific study with my body. So I would say I'm like 80% sure that it has helped with my periods. But honestly, those first two things that I said make it completely worth the money to me. And on top of that, I feel like I am doing something good for my body. It's like, here's a thing that I can do to help my PCOS symptoms. And let's talk about worth it. So the price for this stuff, it's not cheap. Here are the cons about this stuff. It's not cheap, and it's a supplement, which means that it's not covered by insurance. And because You can only buy it online at the Theralogix website or the PCOS nutrition website, and there may be other places. I'm not sure. That's just where I bought it. I can't get it from a pharmacy, so I can't use my Flex spending account card that I use to buy all my other medications. I can't use it. So when I purchase this from the website, I have to buy it and then submit a claim to my health insurance, and then sometimes it reimburses me. Sometimes. Which sucks. So the pricing, this canister of the loose powder is $65, but for 3 months. So when you break that down, that's not as bad. It's basically $20 a month. Which for me, to not have those cravings and be obsessing about food all the time, and to also have my mood more regulated, is worth it to me. And I have the privilege of having that extra money to spend on this. And I sometimes get reimbursed by my health insurance. The individual packets are more expensive. They're $75 for the 90-day supply. So that's another reason to buy the canister of loose powder and not the packets, is that it is $10 cheaper. But I also recognize that not everybody has $65 or $75 to spend every 3 months on a supplement. So, I wish that it were cheaper. I understand, whatever companies charge, whatever they're going to charge. I just wish that you could buy like maybe smaller quantities of it for less money for those times when you just don't have them. Because sometimes, the $65 is a stretch for me. Sometimes it's easy to, pay that amount. Sometimes it's harder. We are humans. Sometimes we have less money, sometimes we have more money. But I do recognize that it is a privilege that I am consistently able to purchase this product. They do giveaways sometimes. Julie Duffy Dillon is doing, not sure, a giveaway of a canister, which is a 3-month supply. But I would say if you have the money to try it, or you just really, really want to try it and you can save up the money to try it, I think you should. I recommend it. I think that it has done good things for me. If one day it stops doing good things for me, I'll stop taking it. I have had 0 side effects from taking it. It does not upset my stomach, even in combination with metformin, which is known to upset your stomach. Yeah, I think that might be all I have about it. I'm just trying to think, like, what would be helpful to know. I don't know. I think that's it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you use Ovacetal, maybe in the comments you could say how it's helped you, and maybe it's helped you in different ways than how it's helped me, and that might be helpful to other people. So if you've tried Ovacetal before, please leave a comment down below so that other people can hear about your experience. That would be super nice. I know that it's scary to try new things when you don't know if it's going to work and it's kind of expensive. Believe me, I'm only doing this review and telling you that I like it and that you should try it because it works for me. Again, this is not sponsored. I wish that it were sponsored. Not sponsored. Any links that are above are not affiliate links. I don't make any money from this, so I really am just telling you stuff from my heart because I want you to know if there's something you can do to feel better. I'm like tearing up. If there's something that you can do to feel better, I really want you to do it because I know how hard it is to have PCOS and to deal with the symptoms and to feel like there's nothing you can do. So, woo! Today's theme is fun. But yeah, just being real. I hope that this was helpful to you. Again, not an expert, not a doctor. I'm just a person with PCOS who has tried a thing and liked it and wanted to tell you about it. I am going to do also, hopefully before the end of the month, although that is rapidly approaching, a guided meditation for people with PCOS. So you can look for that. And if you're watching this like a year later, it's already available. You can go find it. There are so many things, emotions, thoughts, and feelings that we have about ourselves when you get diagnosed with PCOS, when you live with PCOS. So this guided meditation is just going to be about some of those main things that a lot of us kind of internalize, and just helping to heal our hearts, and to affirm our value and worth as people, even though we have PCOS. So that's it officially. I hope that this was helpful or entertaining or whatever. Give this video a like if you liked it, pretty please. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more stuff from me. Come join my Facebook group if you want to hang out with me on a regular basis and be able to talk more back and forth. I do a lot of live videos in there. And that's it. Have a great day. I hope that you are feeling loved and supported and appreciated. And if you're not, please know that I love and support and appreciate you for real, even though I don't know it. Sending you all the good vibes. And have fun. Today's theme is fun. Do something fun today, whatever it is. Even if it's like cleaning out your closet, because that's fun to you, because that's fun to me. All right, y'all. I will see you next time. Bye.